You do the intro, Richie. I'm shy.
Why are you shy now?
Yeah, you're not shy at all.
I'm always shy.
Can this just be the intro? So we're talking about Gitaroo Man today. She was selected for us by our patron Rachel.
Oh, she's got good taste.
It's pronounced
She does.
Rachel.
Rachel has good taste.
She also selected Killer 7.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yep.
Oh, I think I've seen Rachel on a stream, yes?
Oh yeah, she comes to streams, yes.
Yeah, cool.
And as you can probably hear, we have a guest with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Kagero. You can also call me Gina. You might know me as other names, and if you know me by other names, I'm so sorry you know me that well.
Gina, tell us about yourself.
I am a short person. My Patronus is a Prinny, because I have an explosive anger and anxiety problems. And I love Bloodborne. But we're not here to talk about Bloodborne. We're here to talk about, Gitaroo Man.
And we invited Gina on because this game is really hard. And
Oh
I
my
am.
god. Yeah.
we needed someone who was good at it. Because
Who has at least been past level 3.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
So there's 10 levels. You have beaten it, Gina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most recently, in fact, too.
Yeah. I checked out at level 7, and
Ah.
Sin, I think you were level 3.
Well, Richie, tell the whole truth.
I cheated at level 7, yeah. I got to level 7, it was too hard, I started cheating, and then I thought, well, if I'm going to cheat, I might as well just watch a Let's Play. So I did
Right.
that.
Not necessarily glitches that perhaps speedrunners. You were
No.
actually hacksawing the game.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
playing on an emulator, and I just
Gotcha.
set it to half speed.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually played it on one of those the newfangled PS2 models.
Alright.
So I actually used like an old controller, and I don't know if that analog stick. Man, I don't know. Maybe it's a little gummed up in one spot, but God, some of those notes were hard to sustain.
Yeah. I'm playing with a busted, old Logitech controller, which I
Aw.
think had similar problems.
I was playing with an Xbox controller. It's the worst. It's my boyfriend's. I don't know. He's the one with the Xboxes in this family. So yeah,
Sweet.
so I was playing with it, and I hate it. This controller is not meant for my hands.
I remember having lots of fun with this game when the controller was new, and I didn't question my own ability to hold that analog stick.
Can you play this game on a guitar? Like a Guitar Hero guitar?
God, I want to. That'd be cool. Can you imagine
Yeah.
actually jamming out to this thing?
Yeah.
Like, have you guys listened to the soundtrack? God, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yes. It's amazing.
Cannot get that second, what is that stage out of my
The
head?
alien one.
Yeah, fly into your
Yeah.
heart.
With the UFO?
Yeah, and the Pada Pada dancing.
It's my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yes.
Oh my
I
god.
love it. It's great.
Okay. Can you tell us a quick synopsis of what the game's about?
Gitaroo Man is a rhythm game released for PlayStation 2. Weirdly, if you showed me a screenshot, I'd think it was a Dreamcast game. It's because of the aesthetic and everything. It looks very Sega of that era, but it is PS2. And it is a game about a kid called U1 who can use a magic thing called a Gitaroo, which is variously pronounced Gitaroo and Gitaroo, depending on which character is saying it, so I don't know which one's the correct one.
Right.
And when he uses that, he transforms into an alter ego that is like an older and cooler version of him called Gitaroo Man, and he has guitar duels with various wacky characters.
God, life goals.
Yep. And it plays out, it's a rhythm game. There's basically 2 different modes. There is one mode where you are using the analog stick to guide a dot over a pathway, similar to the game Irritating Stick, if anyone's played that. And the other mode is a a mode in which the notes will shoot at you from the 4 cardinal directions, and you have to tap the face buttons on the controller in the direction the note is coming from to basically zap it before it hits you. And the songs alternate between those 2 gameplay modes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They play out as duels between you one and an opponent, so you both have a life bar. And the all the songs have slightly different kind of rules to them, but the way it usually starts is that there'll be a thing at the start called charge mode, where you basically just you do the rhythm stuff, you can't be hurt, but every time you succeed, you get a little bit more of your power meter filled up.
Yes.
And then when the song starts, that power meter is your health. If you screw up or if you miss a note on the face button thing, you will lose health. And if you succeed, you will do damage to your opponent's health.
Yes.
So it is a tug of war between the 2 of you to see who can exhaust whose power first.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Adequate, yep.
Yeah, and you do it to save the Earth or the Gitaroo planet from evil?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they tell us.
Yeah, it's I guess we'll just go into it now. So you play as U1/Yuichi, and he's like a early teens, I guess, kid who is crushing on a girl called Pico.
Mm-hmm.
But Pico is with a jerk called Kazu, and he is pining after her. And then when he goes into this Gitaroo man stuff with his magic Gitaroo, and when he becomes a superhero, his nemesis is very clearly based on Kazu. And the princess that he has to team up with and rescue is very clearly based on Pico.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the implication, I based the plot, is that it's like Wizard of Oz. That didn't really happen. It's just a metaphor for his dealing with this relationship issue, and then at the end it's all resolved.
Really? I think that really happened.
If you want to take the darker side of any theory, maybe the summer heat, he passed out, and everything from level 1 is just a hallucinated dream. So
it's like that theory I read about Harry Potter, where he just imagined the entire thing, and he's still stuck in that place under the stairs.
Yeah, no, I was trying to pull from the Ash is dead theory.
Popular coma theory playbook.
Yeah. Obviously the story is very much a this could easily be an anime with the way it goes. It's very much the kid gets superpowers and gets to become a hero, save the day, but he has to return to his normal life at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I see what Richie meant when he said Reborn is a little predictable.
Oh no.
Because that's pretty much exactly what happens in Reborn. The no good Tsuna gets superpowers.
Sin made me watch 2 episodes of Reborn yesterday, which she thought would be completely unpredictable, and I predicted every single plot beat because it's just every single shonen anime ever, but with a baby in it.
Oh.
Well, it was unpredictable to me.
I know, I understand.
And here's the thing: as long as you enjoyed it the first time through, that's fine. But you have to take that lesson forward. You kind of have to learn how these things go. Enjoy it while you can, because once you start getting drowned out in it, you'll end up a jaded batch like me. So have fun while you can.
Oh wow.
Good.
What were we saying?
Okay.
We were just talking about
the plot.
Yeah, the whole plot in general.
Oh, I really like how Yuichi turns into Mega Man when he plays guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I like how each stage gets progressively weirder. They all start out weird, but they just keep getting weirder. It's so good.
Yeah.
For instance, stage 1. Stage 1, it starts off as training, and then you get attacked by a baby devil in diapers, and then you end up in an endless hallway with a train. I don't know if I'm still thinking this is a fever dream of his.
Well, what happens is that you start off in Yuwon's room.
Right.
And then when he starts playing, basically he's playing the guitar. He's strumming on it's like a tennis racket. And then all this weird stuff starts happening. So but what's happening is it's stuff that's in his room is kind of moving around and coming to life. So when you said there's a train, it's like a toy train that's in his room that's driving past. And there's building blocks and things sort of floating around.
I'm just thinking about it. It's like I said, every stage starts off pretty crazy, but I mean, the person playing won't notice it because you're trying to jam on those buttons.
Yeah.
But they get crazier and crazier. Each situation gets crazier. It's really
they
fun.
start out in a normal location, and then when he starts getting lost in the music, it becomes more and more bizarre. Yeah.
It's so good. It's really awesome.
So the opening stage with the baby devil is it's not hard, but you could very easily lose this.
Sure, especially if you're not used to the controls.
Yeah, there's no real safety net. This stage does not. This is different from the others in that there's no charge phase. Oh no, there is a charge phase, but it's extremely short. So there's no way you will. If you get the charge phase perfect, you're only on about 20% of your actual power. So, I think it gives the impression that you're on thin ice from the beginning, even though the stage isn't that difficult, because you can still only screw up a few times before you run out of power. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and before we get too deep into it, this is, I guess this is old school PlayStation games because there's no easy mode. There's only normal and hard, and then master play. So you're starting off on quote unquote easy, and it's kind of not.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very, very precise game, which is why Sin and I couldn't beat it.
You know, I feel like Richie's spreading misinformation here. I could beat it, Richie. I just need time. And
that's what I meant.
Just need rest.
You just need time. And snacks. You just need time and snacks. No, you don't need rest. Stop that. You don't need rest. Rest is for the weak.
We were saying it's kind of because you were saying, we'll just do first impressions, but then it's kind of it's like doing first impressions of an actual guitar. I played this thing for 3 hours and I didn't sound anything like Led Zeppelin. Buyer beware.
No, because the impression is that the music is really good, the gameplay is on point, but you have to be very concentrated and in a good place to finish the game. You have to have your reaction time on point, you have to be prepared to invest some time into it, but if you like it, it's going to be fine. You'll make it.
That's true. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the game, but revisiting it, wow. I don't remember it being that hard, but also here's the weird thing about it. It started off hard. This is it's been it has to have been more than 10 or 13 years since I played this game last. And when I started up, I got stuck on level was it 3 with
the B
we'll talk about that later.
The B,
yeah. But I put it down, and then I actually listened to somebody else play it, and then after I got refreshed with all the musics and all the tracks and all the beats of the actual song, I was able to pass nearly all the way through in one setting because I remembered what the songs were like. So knowing the songs, you need time if you've never played this before, but if you're familiar with the tracks, it's not too, well, I won't say that for everybody, but it's a little bit easier to get through the game.
Yeah. It's kind of if you replay the games you played as a kid, like Mega Man or whatever, those games, for some reason they'll be a lot more hard now than they were when you played them when you were younger. I had that experience. Nick had that experience. A friend of mine had that experience where he's like, I'll play some PlayStation games. And then how did I finish this as a child? This is stressful. Yeah. So let me ask you guys, you know how in the first stage, the devil baby appears.
His name is Paneas, I think.
Pampius. That's
Yeah.
how I would pronounce it. Does he actually say his name, or do you just come in and wreck house without even an
Pampius,
introduction?
Well, the audio mixing is kind of weird on a lot of the lines, so people will say something very quickly and it'll get lost in the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I did not know the villain's name until, like, the song 9, because he always said it so quickly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean now, thinking back on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the devil baby.
Yes.
What does it represent?
It represents the heat of summer, and obviously his fever dream when he passed out and started imagining this. That's what it is.
But why a devil baby? Did he watch Reborn right before passing out?
When
did this come out? Because I think this was before Reborn was an anime.
Yeah, I think so. It says limited. Copyright 2002. Oh,
yeah,
only 2002? Oh. 2002? What? That's crazy. I was still in high school.
Yeah, same.
Huh. Well, okay, so when did Reborn come out?
2004.
Obviously, there was some cross-pollination. Like, maybe they went to the same fast food joint and, like, they were sharing vibes. They didn't know it, though. And when they parted ways, like, one guy got started pretty early on, like, and got Gitaroo Man out in 2002. But the other guy was like, oh, man, I needed a job and got into the anime industry instead. And 2 years later, Reborn. Right? That's how that works.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. Yeah, because, like, I can totally imagine the devil baby being one of the cast.
I don't... See, the thing is, we get such a short snapshot of Yuwon's life. Who knows? Maybe he has an irritating younger brother.
I think it's supposed to represent that he's, like, not a child anymore. Because he's in his room with all these children's toys, but he wants to be an adult.
I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm an adult now, so I'm defeating all the symbols of my childhood.
Right, he has to kill his younger self in order to grow up.
That's so deep!
Yeah.
Oh, you guys!
It's sad.
This is deeper than the bastard's curse!
Deepest lore. Awesome. Way to go.
Gina, did you know Richie made the bastard's curse?
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
No, I love it. I don't know what you're talking, Rich. Why? Stop. I love it.
Yeah, Richie. Your best work.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't say his best work, but like one of the best.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Yeah, his best work was Ligma.
That's true.
I hate it, thanks. Oh, jeez. So we've already established that the main character has defeated his childhood in order to move into his grow-up stage.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, he arrives at the city. He's on like a trolley.
I don't know. How
I
did
never
he get
quite
on that trolley?
understood that. Yeah,
is that the train? Was that the train out of his childhood?
I think it might be.
You rode on the little toy train.
Can you imagine?
I don't know.
Can you imagine, like, okay, if this is how it goes, obviously his house was on a hill. So when he was having this little imagination in his head, he just got on the trolley and was like, man, this is how adults do it. And he, instead of like getting a car or anything, like asking his parents, he's like, nope, I'm gonna go out into town myself. I got this trolley, it's fine. I've got a couple dollars in my pocket. I can take care of myself. He just left.
And
okay.
When he's on the trolley, he literally just smashes into the ground in front of Pico and Kazu.
Oh, mood.
And this is our first introduction to Pico and Kazu. And we've heard about Pico before. Because he mentions her in the first level. This is our first introduction to Kazu. Yeah. Kazu sounds like he is 45 years old. This is not the voice of a child.
Okay, Richie, give him a break. Maybe he's a heavy smoker.
Yeah, you don't know.
Well, he shouldn't be smoking if he's a child. Oh, I understand the trolley thing now. I've just realized.
Sure, okay.
Because you won't keep saying, like, I'll impress Pico with my skateboarding.
Right?
So clearly the trolley thing was him trying to skateboard.
No, but he actually
And he,
has
like,
a skateboard.
collapses.
No.
But what's he on at the start?
It's a, wait, on the start, like, of this level in particular, it's definitely a dolly.
Wow.
Like, a trolley, dolly, it's one of those things you put things on, it's got a platform, and right? And it's got a handle in front. Because he has a skateboard, like, not 2 seconds later in the scene.
I know what's going on.
Okay.
What?
He's delirious.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all are.
He thinks his skateboard is a trolley?
Yeah, or his trolley is a skateboard and he's just confused.
Yeah.
It gets really hot in Japan, so I don't blame him.
And it explains the delusions and the hallucinations that he's having.
It also explains the giant UFO that comes in 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
Okay, so like getting into the whole like what's real versus what is metaphorical.
I'm sorry if there are any fans who like who are taking the piss out of this game.
I think the game doesn't take itself that seriously.
No, it doesn't. But some fans
it's all a big joke, yeah.
Don't apologize to the nerds.
Oh, that's so mean though. Why would you say that? You giant nerd. You're a nerd too. You're on this podcast. What are you doing?
Well, okay, so going into the whole like what is real and what is in his head.
Right.
What happens is that he is humiliated in front of Kazu. Kazu and Pico then leave and he's on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's on his own, kind of like feeling shitty about himself, UFOs appear above the city and begin abducting people.
Sure that's what happens?
Well, in his head, I think that's what happens. And he's imagining, like, if I could save the city, that would prove that I was cooler than Kazu.
That's true. No, because I just wanted to clarify, nobody gets abducted, right? Because they all just start para dancing.
People get zapped by, like, beams.
Yes. Yeah. And then they all start dancing. They get dance fever. They
abduct Puma, the dog.
Did they though? Because Puma picked a fight with a smaller O and got carried off. That was his fault. To be fair, the O was doing nothing except you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the O did nothing wrong, Richie.
Responding.
Mm.
Yeah.
Actually, it didn't do anything wrong. It was just making everyone dance.
Yeah. It started a party.
He's ruining everything.
Yeah.
The aliens just came down and wanted to have a party, and this kid is wrecking it.
Well, I mean, wait, no, sorry. To be fair, the big O said it was there to take the Gitaroo, because that's also part of the plot line. Like, there's a plot with the Gitaroo, supposedly because he's a special inheritor of this weapon / instrument. Other owners of Gitaroos are going to come up and, like, you know, throw down.
Yeah. And like a Gitaroo, despite the name, doesn't have to be a guitar.
No, that's
it can be
cool.
anything, and like all the bosses are themed around an instrument. So this UFO is themed. It's a UFO, but the side of it is designed like a keyboard.
Yeah,
and that kind of influenced like the music that plays during it is like a keyboard thing. Yeah.
You guys, let me ask you: when you saw the UFO, did anybody else get a flashback to a sci-fi Soviet cartoon from the 80s?
I'm glad you followed up with a sci-fi Soviet cartoon, because I was worried you were going to say, did anybody else get a flashback being abducted by UFOs? I'm going to have to say that's not a common experience.
Okay, so when I saw the UFO, I had a thing that clicked in my head, and I had this flashback, and it was like, like this sci-fi 80s Russian cartoon, but I couldn't remember anything about the cartoon or the name. So I was just like, I just went on YouTube and I'm like, well, let's try this sci-fi Russian cartoon. And it was the first result.
Hey!
The full cartoon. So I'll show you guys. I found what the UFO reminded me of.
Okay.
It's this thing.
Wait, that reminded you of the Flying O's?
Yeah. The Flying O's made me remember this. Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
This is Bird Friend.
I don't know. I don't remember anything about the cartoon. We'll have to watch it. Rich, it looks like we have new lore to cover.
There we go.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Good.
Back to Gitaroo Man.
So this level is the first kind of like standard level in that it has a very long charge phase where you can build up a complete power bar, and then it is a real endurance test. I timed it. It is like over 5 minutes long.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's very long.
5 minutes isn't long.
Oh, it is compared to some of the other tunes.
Yeah, 5 minutes of an extremely precise QTE that doesn't stop is long.
And you know what the best thing is? Like, the song is so good, I would just die to hear it again. Like, it's such a great tune. I love it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the lyrics to this song, though?
I didn't know they were in English.
No, they're not in English. I cheated.
Oh, okay.
I went to animelyrics.com or whatever, and the lyrics are cool. Not exactly what I would have thought for a quote-unquote happy stage, but man.
What were they saying, the lyrics?
Well, now that you ask me, of course, I don't have it up. But the song is called Fly Into Your Heart. There we go. 1 second. Assuming that these lyrics are correct, I guess it kind of fits. It sounds like Unrequited Love. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, there's a link. Here's... Where is it? Yeah, my heart trembles. I want to hear your voice. Even when I wake from my dream, I want to tell you. I want to feel you and never forget it all. So obviously, this is a one-sided thing. And I guess it works. Even though it sounds like super upbeat, that is, I guess, pretty much what's going on with the main character at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were saying with the room, the longer it goes on, the sort of weirder it gets.
Yeah. I mean, it
starts off with it starts off with U1 just playing to the UFO in the sky, and then gradually more UFOs come down, they start zapping people start like dancing around, and then it climaxes with U1 riding on the back of a UFO, like zapping them all, trying to get
he has to get his
Puma
dog back.
Yeah.
His dog / boombox? Is that what he
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that like when U1 turns into Gitaroo Man, Puma turns into a stereo dog hybrid.
Yeah. I love the design in this thing.
Yeah.
Like, all the designs are great.
They're very cute, and the dog talks.
Well, the dog knows what's going on. He's like, in order to get the main character out of his blue funk, he convinces the main character U1 to play or practice guitar with a racket, and then he actually gives him the Gitaroo when Pampius comes through, and then just, more and more stuff starts going crazy because, he activated the Gitaroo, I guess, and so now everybody's here to get his instrument.
Mm-hmm.
There's it's explained later on, as it usually is in most adventure anime, but of course when you collect all these legendary items, something happens. So that's why they're all trying to collect these things. And that's why we get bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that leads us into level 3 that begins with the alien overlord called Zoe, who is drawn to be an older version of Kazu and has the same voice actor.
Do you think he's actually 45 at this point, or...?
It would make a little bit more sense.
Right.
Everyone else sounds like a kid, and then Kazu's like, oh, hey there, you one. Goofing off as usual.
Yeah, it's true. It's good stuff.
So, the Emperor, whose name is Zoe, I don't know what cutscene they actually reveal his name is Zoe in, because he speaks extremely quickly, and it's mixed not that well. But, he basically says what Gina just said, which is that there's these Gitaroos, we have to unite them all, and we've got to get this Gitaroo back from Gitaroo Man, and he says, he's got these 2 underlings, and he says, you have to send in Mojo King B.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Samuel the
while
King.
U1 is walking away from the city, he walks through a forest and he is accosted by a large man dressed as a bee with a trumpet.
Yes. This
Yes.
is true.
Oh my god, you guys, now that I look at Mojo King Bee,
Yes.
I'm having another flashback. I don't know if you guys have those machines. It's like a candy machine or whatever, but it's not candy that's inside. It's toys, and you can put like a dollar in, and you twist it, and something comes out.
Okay.
And there was a whole phase here where the thing that was in machine were like, I think, Pokemon, but also they were dressed like Pokemon.
Oh, weird.
Like or some monster in a Pokemon skin, and you could like take it off and you would put it on your cell phone. You know what I mean?
Wow. No. Yeah.
I understand. It's like a gacha thing.
Yeah, I understand the concept, but I've never seen this particular product.
I think it was a Pokemon. I'm gonna look it up. Pokemon. What do you call those? Dollar machine? I don't know.
Gachapon?
Yeah, they'd be called Gachapon. Oh no, I found what you. I found it. Yeah, hang on.
Because I think Gachapon is.
They were all
Pikachu
brand. Dressed as different Pokemon.
Aw, that does sound cute. I'd spend too much money on those.
Post the link, Richie. Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
but not this specific thing.
Right. Yeah, because that's brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a string, and I think you could put it on your cell phone like a charm.
Wait, why does this remind you of Mojo King Bee?
Well, I'll show you why.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Show me. Do it. Do it to my eyes. Yes.
Get your eyes ready.
I am. Oh my god.
Look.
Yep.
He's basically wearing like a bee outfit. Like he should be in one of those machines.
Yep.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I was a fool. My god. My bad. Yeah,
this game is giving me all sorts of flashbacks.
Amazing. It's just good design. Obviously, it's pulling from your subconscious. Are you sure you didn't walk around the same fast food area that those other two guys were walking around? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what happened.
We all ate at the same Lebanese poutine joint.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that makes sense. Yeah, it's very popular in Japan. I don't know. I've never been to Japan. Okay. Wait, this song is also 5 minutes long? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. This was the first wall for me.
Yeah.
Like I think I was talking to you about it, Gina. But I was like, I was stuck on this guy for longer than Nameless King.
Yes, that's what you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, each one of these levels doesn't end as fast as like a Soulsborne level can. You know what I mean? So, like, this
is what I was getting at. Where I mean, like, it's a real endurance test because the fight ends when one of you runs out of power.
Not even though, because like the enemy can run out of power, but if you screw up the button mashing, you will also die.
Yeah. This is what kept happening. So
like clearly you won the fight, but the game doesn't say you did.
The one after this is even worse, but it's shorter. Where it's just like you just sit there watching your power go down more and more and more. Like, and it becomes incredibly like it's exhausting.
Yes.
Like long. These like 5 minute long QTE sequences where you're just watching this bar slowly drain, and it got like really kind of stressful.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah, and just the exhaustion of like I've screwed up, but the point at which I screwed up was 3 minutes before the stage ended.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like dead man walking for quite a bit of that. Yeah.
But I guess as a kid, I just had infinite time to spend. I think this was no, because I was in high school. I just think I had more time being in high school because I remember the stage 3 being a bit of a slog, but like nothing too terrible. I just thought the song was a little boring. Which like again, I was a fool because it's still a cool song. It's just I didn't like playing all the way through it. And the background is still kind of silly. But
Yeah, the background in this one is that the longer the song goes on, the more animals in the forest kind of start joining in.
Yeah.
And they become this chorus.
yeah. It's pretty cool.
So this is you were saying that like it was easier for you because when you had familiarized yourself with what they sounded like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At this point, when I was getting so exhausted from playing against this bee man,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up turning the sound off.
Oh wow!
And just playing with the button prompts, and weirdly that worked better for me.
Yeah, that's
Really?
real strats. Wow.
Yeah.
Richie,
And yeah.
do you have no sense of music?
I don't.
I don't either. So like, I just think he has more guts to turn off the screen.
It made me think like this is the opposite of Parappa the Rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Parappa the Rapper, like it's this similar principle, but in that like they would say a line and then you had to match the rhythm of the way they said it.
Yes.
Like if you just play Parappa with the button prompts, you won't be able to do it because it just gives you a rough approximation of where it expects you to do it. But you have to keep in the rhythm of the person you're rapping with. This one, you pretty much can just ignore the music, I found, and just pay attention to the prompt.
Yes.
Because it's really just based on like how close was the dot to the middle of the screen when you hit the button.
Yeah. And I don't know, well, I guess you haven't played long enough, but each stage actually seems to have like a couple different tracks. So like if you tank enough, it'll give you a quote-unquote easier track.
Right.
Yeah, so if you're lucky enough, they won't absolutely destroy you the first time through. But as you keep failing, they'll put new tracks out just to change it up. And I don't mean like the song changes. I just mean the button prompts change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also the kind of button prompts you get, like they will change based on the kind of song it is. So like Mojo King B, because he's playing the trumpet, it's a lot of just like singular notes. So you do a lot of defending in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas other ones like there'll be longer like guitar sections. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in like level 6 or something.
Yeah.
No, not 6. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah. Is that about it for this level? Because
I think that's it for Mojo King B.
I just want to mention that this particular level doesn't get too much stranger. It's just, I mean, aside from the fact that it's like two guys jamming out in the forest with a bunch of animals like as backup, but like King B is a portly guy. And the better you get at your Gitaroo, like, there's a chase scene at the end, and he runs out of breath, falls over, and dies in a swamp. And I've never felt worse about defeating a boss because, oh my god, I didn't want King B to die in a swamp.
Yeah.
If you fail to him, he each boss also has like an end screen. I can't remember what the flying O's were, and I'll be damned if I let Devil Baby ever beat me. But Mojo is just kind of like, man, what happened? And like that's it. He's just disappointed that you weren't more of a challenge. I didn't want him to fall over and die in a swamp, and now that I realized what happened because I could look up away from the prompts as the thing was ending, I just felt a little bad.
Do you guys think Miyazaki designed this specific level?
No, there's not enough children death.
But there is a swamp.
Yeah, no, but the guy who died was an adult.
That's
It wasn't
true.
poisoned, though.
Yeah.
It also wasn't cursed.
Yeah.
Maybe he took inspiration from it, though, right? Maybe.
It's possible.
2002. When did Armored Core 4 come out?
Well, Miyazaki credits Eco as his inspiration, so if this came out around the time of Eco, which I think it did, he may have played this.
Wow. Yeah.
So now I wonder, when is Miyazaki going to make a Reborn game?
Well, that does begin with someone trying to kill a child.
Well,
so I think
Gina's like,
he's probably watching it, and maybe he watched it, and when he failed to kill the child, he was so disappointed he didn't watch the rest.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a crap anime. Turning that off. Okay, so Eco or Ico, however you nerds pronounce it, was released in 2001. So maybe he did. Maybe he did play it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh my god! Gitaroo Man, Soul's Universe
Okay.
confirmed?
Yes, immediately yes. This is
Yes.
my headcanon. If not, you can all go off to your own corners of the internet. I've claimed it. There you go.
Also, Bloodborne 2 confirmed.
Oh
Hmm.
man, I knew it. Oh.
This is why Bard isn't a class in Souls, because it would have been too powerful.
No, the Bard class is always too powerful. What are you talking about? He knows this. We've seen him make Dark Souls. That was obviously a D&D shout out or inspiration. He knows bards are powerful. Bards and monks. That's why you don't have a bard, and that's why there is no monk. Like, there's no fisticuffs, I mean. Yeah. My husband was really disappointed when Bloodborne didn't have a fist-only option. Sorry. Okay, where are we now? Level 4.
Level 4. So after you beat Mojo King B, a hologram of an old man appears and tells you-one that he's got to come to Planet Gitaroo and rescue everyone who's held captive there.
Yeah. Normally, you just ignore phone calls from strange old men, but this came out of his best friend, the dog, Puma, so he kind of had to at least be courteous.
Yeah.
It's very Star Wars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Rich, you know what? You know what?
What? What?
This is the hero's journey.
It is. Certainly is. The objectively correct structure of all world mythology that
no, there's
they
no
all
other
follow all over
variations.
There are no other variations at all.
It's all a part of a collective hallucination by the humanity as a race.
It's all the Jungian unconscious.
Right.
Yep.
Bloodborne 2 confirmed.
Oh.
Sometimes Richie makes jokes and I don't understand them, but I laugh. But then after the fact, I message him to ask him if that's something I need to cut out.
Oh, very good.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
It can be a surprise when Gina listens to this. So,
okay.
So Puma then reveals that he has a spaceship. Mm-hmm. Just does.
Yeah, I mean,
and
we've already established he's a boombox dog, so like anything goes now.
Yeah. Yeah, and he tells you-one that we've got to fly to Planet Gitaroo and rescue all these people. At this point, you-one became incredibly whiny for me.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I was comparing it to Parappa the Rapper before, and I feel like you-one compares very unfavorably as a protagonist to Parappa. Because Parappa is kind of like, it's a similar kind of story where, like, Parappa's sort of a loser, and he's, like, into this girl, but she's with someone else, and the story is about him, like, getting the confidence and, like, the skill and everything to be like, hey, I'm cool too.
Yeah.
Difference is, like, Parappa was sort of always positive. Like, if he ran into a problem, he'd just say, I gotta believe! And then he'd start rapping. Whereas, you-one, when confronted... You-one reminds me a lot of Shinji from Evangelion.
Yeah.
Where when confronted with a problem, his response is to collapse on the ground and start screaming.
Oh my god. Okay, Rich, but I think you're being unfair for just one detail. Because...
Yeah.
I don't know if you were paying attention, but it was nightfall when they were going through the forest. It's near his bedtime at this point.
Oh,
he's just
very
a wee
tired.
bad. He's very tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about that. We can't tell because we're flying through space at this point, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this leads to them flying to Planet Gitaroo in Puma's spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe sees them and says, we have to release something called Ben K.
Yeah.
And Ben K is revealed to be a gigantic mechanical shark that chases them through space.
Yeah.
And this is like a level that follows slightly different rules, because you-one can't turn into Gitaroo Man in the ship.
Yeah. They didn't think that one all the way through.
I think because Puma is in like a separate pod that's being towed, he can't throw in the Gitaroo.
Yeah.
So there's no charge phase and there's no attack phase, it's just defense.
You know what it is? He doesn't have his amp. He can't play his Gitaroo that way.
True.
Right.
True. Oh, that's what he is. He's the amp.
Is he though?
Yeah.
I thought he had like two speaker. No, okay,
I don't know.
Well,
He might be.
maybe he's all
It
purpose.
would make sense if he was the amp.
Yeah, he's all purpose amp. He's all purpose doggo.
Also, this is the cutscene that's where it's like, Wait, how long have you even lived with me, Puma?
What? Really?
Yeah, there's a bit where he's like, why can you talk? How long have you even lived with me?
Oh. Yeah, this whole level is it's actually fairly short, but it's all just dodging. Yeah. There's no attack, there's no charge.
It's 2.5 minutes.
So,
yeah.
Kinda gotta just
survive. There's no charge phase, but you start with full power.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And, like, it's extremely tough, and you will probably just, like, limp to the end, because you'll be taking damage pretty much constantly. It is extremely fast.
Yeah. If you limp all the way towards the end, I mean, that's pretty much what happens to this ship.
Yeah.
Get messed up pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
You got a shark biting your ship. I mean, come on, a space shark?
Yeah.
Of course.
Space shark? Oh my god.
Oh? Did this spark another memory from your strange childhood?
No, Gina, you just came up with, like, an amazing idea. You know how there's, like, Sharktopus?
Oh, okay.
And the Sharknado? This is the Sharkstronaut.
Why not just Mecha Shark?
Oh, that's why you're the brains of this operation.
Okay. You know what? I think I was cheating a little because Mecha Shark is appropriate because level 5, he does turn into a mech of sorts.
Yeah.
So I think I was just pulling from my subconscious. My bad. It's no brains, it's just I'm remembering stuff now. Sorry.
It's like level 4 basically just transitions immediately into level 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's it's not like a separate scene. So basically,
I mean,
you escape from Benkei. Yeah,
you go arrive to a at a like some sort.
Yeah, you go through like a warp thing. You arrive at this kind of space station. Benkei follows you, and then when Benkei hits the station, he transforms into like a bipedal robot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Yuan is like, "What are we gonna do?" And then Puma turns him into Gitaroo Man, and then Puma's spaceship also turns into a robot called Woofer Amazing.
It's really good. I love these names so much.
I think Woofer Amazing is probably a like Mazinger thing.
Oh.
It's like Great Mazinger and Mazin Kaiser. Here's the dog version,
gotcha.
So it's Woofer Mazing. Yeah.
Aw, that's cool. God, there were some nerds that made this game. Amazing, I love it.
Can you explain for those of us who have a life, Richie?
Mm-hmm. What Mazinger is?
Yeah.
Mazinger's like, I think most people will be familiar with Mazinger.
No.
No, yeah, Mazinger is like the giant robot series. Yeah. Like, people would know what it looks like even if they haven't.
Let me
don't know what it's called.
I don't know, Rich.
How do you spell it?
There's a lot of young people nowadays.
Oh, Mazinger's still going because it's going to guy.
Mazinger. Oh, he looks like a Gundam or whatever. Yeah.
Well,
Voltron.
Well, I think there's a lot of nerds who would take issue with you. Well, he's more like Voltron than Gundam.
Uh-huh.
You're treading on dangerous ground here.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to cut that out.
There's a lot of very pedantic people would point out that Gundam was a break from this kind of robot design. But they were trying to make a realistic series about the futility of warfare.
Yep. You don't know it, but there's a lot of nerds with pitchforks now.
Oh, hang on! I just showed the breast missiles while I was looking for Mazinger stuff.
The breast
missiles from Mazinger.
Wow, that's right.
Yep, there is a girl Mazinger, and her weapon is her boobs and missiles.
Doesn't one of the robots in this fight for Gitaroo Man have like that pattern boob missile thing? Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this Shark Man. Yeah, he's got boob windows. Check out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see.
Right,
yeah.
See?
Yeah. It a lot of them have that design. I think it's meant to look like a PS2 controller.
Maybe, but I mean.
Oh no! Actually, no. Yeah, here's a better look at him, and it looks like 2 turntables.
And that would make sense because there's a lot of.
Yeah.
This is technically like reggae, and vinyl is a big thing.
He'd be like a DJ robot. Yeah.
Yeah. Turntables. Mystery solved, not boobs. It's fine. Although nothing's
well, they can be both.
Nothing's going to say that he couldn't shoot those off. Yes. Like It's not a missile to a face,
Well,
but
if
vinyl to the face is still
if anyone's
painful.
familiar with the hit RPG Yeek,
Oh, no.
you can in fact fight people with vinyl.
Okay. Should I look this up,
After
or should
an
I?
even more? No, you
Thank
shouldn't.
you. All
No
right.
one should look it
Awesome,
up. We
good.
should forget it exists.
Yes, we shall then.
Yes.
Nope, we're moving on. Let's see. Number
No, we're
6.
not talking about anything.
Level
That game
6.
doesn't exist.
Oh wait, no. Before we go past level 5, level.
Yeah, we should talk about like this. Level 5 is also structured differently. Because instead of there being like, because the idea in level 5 is that Benkei is chasing you. So instead of there being a charge phase and then an attack phase, it's a series of short, like it alternates depending on who is chasing who. So like he will start chasing you, it goes into charge mode. But the charge mode will only last like 20 seconds. Then when that ends, you'll go into attack mode, do a bit of damage, then go back into charge mode. And I liked this level. I liked this like rhythm a lot more. It reminded me again of Parappa. Whereas, because like in Parappa, you don't have a health bar, you just have a score, and the score fluctuates based on how well you're doing.
Yes.
So if you screw up, you can like get back to being good like pretty quickly. There's not the sense that you get in Gitaroo Man, where if I screw up, that's permanently I've lost X% of my power, and it's just going to keep going down.
Right.
Yeah, so I like this level a lot. I was stuck on levels 3 and 4 for an extremely long time, but this level I got on my first attempt because it just kind of clicked with me better.
Yeah, this is also the level that made me wonder if my my analog stick was like buggy, because I could not sustain the long not the charges, but the long notes. Yeah, especially if it curved, then my analog stick would do this thing where it like jitters off to the side, and if that happens, it destroys like that whole note. You can't get any more attack out of it.
Yeah, and because this has very long notes, if you screw up midway through a note, like you don't get another shot at it for a while. Yeah,
I should probably also mention I'm not sure if this is intended programming, but you know, during the charge mode, right? The tutorial tells you to hold the note until the end, right? And then let go at the end. I actually found out if you let go like at the last inch of the bar, you actually get more charge and more attack out of it, especially on longer notes.
Yeah.
Like not the shorter notes, no, but like the longer sustained notes, just you let go kind of early, and your charge is more and the attack is stronger. It's very strange, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the timing is very precise in this. And because the timing is tied to how much damage you do and how much damage you avoid taking in defense mode, like it can make some of the songs drag out quite a bit if you're not getting you can hit the note but do like a fraction of the damage you would have got if you were a couple of
basically
frames
hitting
faster.
the note makes sure that you don't hurt yourself, because if you miss that note, that's damage towards you.
Yeah. Which, again, feeding back into the idea that it feels like an endurance test, where, like, the baseline is just not taking damage at all, rather than doing damage. Yeah.
And I've had a few songs where it's like, especially Fly Into Your Heart, because I was stuck on that. That's level 2. I was stuck on that when I started playing, because it was a new song, a new mechanic. I've never played a game like that before. I would get to the end, but I didn't actually do enough damage to like defeat the enemy at the end, so I had to do the level again. At least that's how I remember it.
Yeah. This is normal mode.
Yeah, I haven't played master mode because I'm not that awesome as far as rhythms go.
Yeah, like when I started playing it, I thought, oh, clearly, like, I must have set this to hard. There's no way this is the basic, but it is,
Yeah, it's a basic. Yeah, and you know what? Sorry, go for it.
No, go.
I was going to say, when I got stuck on level 3, I was like, you know, I'm just playing this for funsies. I can go to easy mode, and lo and behold, there is no easy mode. There's normal and hard. That's all you get.
Yeah, and when I told Richie, because I played it first, and then I told Richie that it's kind of difficult, he didn't believe me. He was like, oh, you're a casual. You can't even play Castlevania, right? You're stuck in a doppelganger boss. You don't know.
I think you're exaggerating slightly. Because you said it was very hard, and I think I said, oh, okay, I'll see. I think a lot of the impression you do of me is like, I think that's you projecting your own insecurities onto me.
Is Sinclair the U1 of this podcast?
It's possible.
She's hallucinating all of this, and she's trying to deal with it in her head.
No, the real thing that's happening, we already determined it. This is Richie's hell.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
Yeah.
hell.
It is very hot here.
You know what happens? Your hell is a Miyazaki game, and you haven't reached a twist yet. Don't worry, we're getting there. Oh, where are we? Oh,
Level 6, the chill level.
it's pretty chill. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So level 6 is after you have defeated Benkei. U1, I've just got on my notes, U1 whines that no matter where he goes, everyone makes fun of him.
Yes, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Which I think is every cutscene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's really kind of
Actually,
unlikable.
isn't this the part where he says, did he finally talk to Zoe at this point, or was that the next level?
Yeah, the level 6 is where Zoe introduces
Yeah,
himself.
because he's like, why is it everywhere I go, the same kind of jerks say the same kind of things? Like, wow, that's kind of true. Doesn't help that the evil bad guy is also like the personification of your rival.
Yeah.
So, U1 runs into a girl who he thinks is Pico.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looks exactly like her, and he says, "Are you Pico?" And she says, "Pico, I don't know who that is." And she introduces herself as Kira, and she is someone from Planet Gitaroo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So U1 is just there's no Gitaroo Man stuff in this level. He doesn't turn into Gitaroo Man. He is just sitting under a tree, strumming his guitar. Like, it's a very slow acoustic song. And there's no charge phase. There's no defense. It's just him playing a very slow, kind of chill song. And you're technically playing against Kira, but you're not fighting. What's happening is she's just, like, sitting next to you. And the better you do it, the more she sort of drifts off into sleep, and it ends with her falling asleep with her head on your shoulder.
I really love this song, too. It's an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Not the electric guitar that we've been playing with the whole time through.
Yeah.
Also, she mentions that he asks her if she plays an instrument, and she says, "Oh no, I could never play like that." And so, foreshadowing, she says, "I could never play like that," which means she can play, but not the song he's doing right now.
Like that, yeah.
Which is so apparently she has no chill. This is a very chill song. It's very slow.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen what this level looks like when you fail it?
No.
Remember how I said every bad guy has like an end card if you lose the game or the level? Because it's such a chill song, it's really obvious when you screw up, and it plays on U1's features too, because he kind of gets a mischord and he like winces, and you wince internally too. And if you lose this level, she gets up and she goes, "I have to go now," and he's like, "No, wait." It's so good. Love it. But yeah, if you can actually get this song down, yes, you get to pass out under a tree next to this fireplace. God knows where the fireplace came from, but whatever. And I just love this song so much. I think I tried to learn how to play it on an actual guitar way back when, and I don't remember what the results of that were, but I liked it so much then.
Yeah.
I tried. It was good.
Yeah, and it does get brought back a couple of times throughout the game, so
it becomes a
leitmotif.
Hear it
again. Yeah. So, following morning, U1 wakes up. Puma is gone. He doesn't know where Puma is. He runs off looking for Puma and falls down a trap that has been set by Zoe.
Yes.
Then he realizes he is now in the prison where the old man contacted him before and asked to be rescued, and there's all these people trapped in a prison on planet Gitaroo, including Puma.
He's in a giant crane for some reason.
Yeah, Puma is held by a giant crane, And because Puma is held there, U1 cannot turn into Gitaroo.
Yeah, he
Man.
doesn't have his Gitaroo.
Yeah. So he is then attacked by 3 skeletons called the Sandbone Trio.
I also love this
and
level.
this is the level. This is the level where I started cheating.
Yeah, and I can see why, because that intro is devastating, especially towards the last bit.
You start off on very low power and you can't charge because you can't get to the Gitaroo.
It's all dodging.
So the beginning of it is just like you are assaulted by constant notes from the skeletons.
Yeah, drum beats, and they're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say it's got a South American flair to it. I think.
Yeah.
But you know what this one reminded me of?
Oh, yes.
You know this one.
Something about your childhood, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but you know that black and white cartoon with the skeletons dancing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The one that gets really popular around October. God, I love October.
Yeah.
Every single time it comes around.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, Silly Symphony.
Is that what it's called?
It's the skeleton
love
dance, and it's from Silly Symphony. Yeah.
Oops, where am I?
So if you successfully dodge enough of these attacks from the skeletons, they will miss you and they will knock down Puma from the crane he's in.
And here we actually
that allows you to turn.
Yeah, we actually see U1 develop a little backbone, because by this point, little Babby's had his nap and he knows what he needs to do. He just needs that Gitaroo. He needs to kick ass, and that is hopefully exactly what you do.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and if you're me, you set the emulator speed to 50%.
Yeah, or you just start watching
and
Let's
you get
Play.
through it that way.
Yeah, what a dirty casual.
Yeah, it's great. The best part was even playing on half speed, I still got, I think it was a B rank.
Oh no. That's okay. I didn't get over a B either, so.
Yeah.
I think I was scraping by with C's.
There's not much plot development here, you just kind of rescue everyone by defeating the skeletons.
Yeah, I mean, you finally reached your
Planet
Gitaroo, you fulfilled the mission for saving the old man. I guess he's pretty much there just to point you onto the next level, because I think he reiterates that a great calamity comes from the skies or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and he says there's hey, by the way, there's 8 Gitaroos, you gotta get them. There's 2 left, you gotta get them. Yeah.
And I think up until this point, people have been mentioning that the aliens that Zoe represents, and I guess the aliens that Gitaroo Man represents, they've been at war. And they've taken over Planet Gitaroo, so now he has to go fight the next guy. The next guy is just really doesn't have an introduction. He's just there. And it's pretty much just hey, there's Gitaroo over there, go, and Gitaroo Man goes. He doesn't look too enthused by it, but he goes.
No, So the next guy is he's called Gregorio III, and his Gitaroo is a church organ.
No, his Gitaroo is the whole church, I think. Because the emblem of the Gitaroo is not on the organ; it's on the stained windows, the stained glass windows.
Yeah, and and as he's playing, choirs will appear in the church. This is
also
and
a really awesome song. This song and the previous song really, well, I guess also the acoustic guitar song, really help you get past the slower beats from Mojo King B and Ben K. They're just really slapping tunes.
Yeah, for this one, I made a note that says, the hero is fighting Castlevania.
Yeah, all of Castlevania.
Is there a Castlevania rhythm game?
There should be. Can you imagine?
I would be surprised if there wasn't, based on Konami's business practices.
Do you think they'd do that thing that Star Wars did and just slap Alucard skin on a previous dance game?
Oh, that would be great.
Yes, it would. Konami, this is yours. Please take it from us. Give us a reality.
Hang on, there is a Konami rhythm games section of the Castlevania wiki.
What?
There aren't any Castlevania rhythm games, but there are Konami rhythm games with Castlevania songs in them. So if you get Keyboard Mania's second mix, you can play Bloody Tears.
Oh, nice. You know what I also wondered? Does Konami have a lockdown on this particular game, or has like these tracks appeared in any other rhythm game, like Osu or anything like that? I'm sure somebody has to have homebrewed it for something.
Gitaroo Man.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Gitaroo Man for any other console or whatever. Is it?
Isn't Gitaroo Man Koei?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Yeah, it is Koei.
Oh, developed by Innis, published by Koei. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it says here the soundtrack's all by the one band, so I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just get the bands out.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. This did get a remake. It's not only on the PlayStation 2. It was also for the PSP. Was it?
Yeah,
but
PSP.
I didn't pick that version up, so I don't know if there's anything different. I think there are. Wait, I think there are like 3 new tracks on the PSP version. Could be wrong.
It says here there's 2 new
Okay,
stages on PSP. Yeah.
Yeah. I have.
Could I just point out that like handhelds are the best place to port old rhythm games, because I don't know if you've tried playing like the PS4 ports of older.
No.
Like PS1 and PS. Okay, what happens is those games are like calibrated for CRT monitors. And if you just port them across to an HD set, the timing is completely off and it doesn't work.
No.
Like, yeah, like I've got the PS3 port of Space Channel 5 and it is like unplayable.
Oh, no.
Because it's like it's all completely out of sync, and like it also happened with the HD port of FF10. I think they might have patched it, but like that has QTE sections in it, and it's still using the timing from the PS2, so it's treating it like it's a CRT monitor with a different refresh rate, and it is a mess. But if you port them to a handheld, it doesn't matter, because the handheld screen is not a television.
Oh boy, no, I had no idea. Thank you for the PSA, because damn, that's unfortunate.
So I guess level 9.
Yeah. I don't think anything crazy happened. Okay, like
Yeah,
nobody dies in the background.
yeah.
You just beat the boss.
Yeah.
Level 9. Oh yes,
Level 9 is
the arena
where it kind of comes to a head. Yeah. So U1 confronts Zoe in a giant Gitaroo arena.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe says, U1, you have to fight the mightiest warrior of the Gravalian Empire.
I wonder who that could be.
Who could it be? It's Kira.
Oh my god, you don't... What? What? How could this be?
Well, that's basically what he does. He basically falls on the floor. He actually yells like, I refuse to fight, I won't do it. As if he's actually gonna kill her or something.
Right, well, I mean, look.
Like, it's so melodramatic.
There's a guy that died in a swamp after a guitar battle.
Right, demons don't count.
Yeah.
UFOs don't count. He killed a man on Earth. He's been on the run since.
There's enough blood on your hands, you won.
The skeletons didn't count either. And, like, nobody knows what happened to the guy
already
in the castle,
dead.
so, like, or the cathedral, so he might have just ran off. It's fine. We don't know. We didn't see that person die horribly in a swamp.
Yeah.
Who knows what might happen to Kira? But yes, and funny enough, Puma keeps telling him you gotta fight, otherwise she's gonna finish you off, and he adamantly refuses.
Yeah, again, it's like turning into Evangelion at this point.
I mean, it gets better.
And then
it actually gets better, unlike, never mind. We're gonna move on.
Unlike
No,
Evangelion, it gets better.
We don't want the fans after us.
So, what happens is it plays out like a standard stage.
Kind of.
But then, after a while, U1 just gives up and won't play anymore. And then he says to Kira, like, you have to understand, I won't fight you, Zoe is the real enemy. And then he plays an electric version of the song that he played on the beach.
And she tries to counter
And if
it.
you keep... Yeah, she tries to, and so you're fighting kind of like to win her over to your side rather than defeat her. And if you keep that up for long enough, she joins in with you, and you do a duet.
Yep. Which is something my husband pointed out earlier that makes this song kind of special, because she says she can't play like that. So Gitaroo Man actually meets her halfway, and they're still playing an electric guitar version. It's not totally laid back, but like they're working together now.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
Oh,
I think it's cute.
So cute.
And it ends with Kira giving her Gitaroo to Yuwon. So Yuwon now has all the Gitaroos.
Yep. And so now all the legendary items are collected, and something's going to go down. And
that thing is that Zoe appears in a giant mech suit.
No, he just has his evil villain armor. I don't think it's considered a mech suit. It's more like a body armor.
It's like a powered suit
power
thing.
Armor.
Yeah. And then Yuwon proceeds. I've just got on my notes. Yuwon transforms into Devilman.
Oh no! I guess that's kind of true. Huh? Awkward.
Yeah.
Oh my god! When I saw it, that's exactly what I thought.
They also have like one of the best back and forths ever at growing up with like a little shit for siblings. I have a younger brother and sister. It sounds a little bit like fights we would have. Like, I'm better than you. No, you're not. Oh yeah, who says? I say. And it's just back and forth like that.
Yeah,
it's really good stuff. And then we have a battle in the sky, and this song is also really awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
Is it hard? I don't think it's hard. Because unlike the level with the Sandborn Bone Trio, you actually get a charge level or a charge phase like every other exchange. So,
right.
You might be dodging and attacking for part of the song, but immediately after that you get to charge again. And the notes are relatively simple. So the charge phase, especially if you do that little trick I do, you can always bring your health to at least be on par with the enemy.
Yeah.
Where it gets crazy is towards the end, when the guitar flourishes start getting a little bit more intense. But like, I think that's the hardest part of the whole level, and I don't think it's as long as some of the other levels. I think it's like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I keep saying that, but like I don't have the language. I don't understand music enough to actually say why it's good. But if anybody's remotely curious, they should listen to the track or like listen to a Let's Play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that you defeat Zoe, and then it sort of loops back around to like the beginning of level 2 again, where it's the same situation with U1 running into.
I mean, pretty much after. Shouldn't mention, but for anybody looking for closure, it pretty much has like if. This has happened in the end of a couple anime, but like it pretty much is the hero has come, they've done what they need to do, and then Puma just shoves him back into their reality. So the hero doesn't get to stay in that world and celebrate with everybody. They just the celebrations continue without him, and maybe a few people realize he's gone. And it's kind of like leave the place better than you found it. And then it loops back around to his reality. Yeah.
He ends up back on Earth with he runs into Piku and Kazu again. Kazu continues to be a dick, but he just basically
ignores him.
He's more confident. He's got like swagger now, and he basically just like says, "Hey Pico, let's go."
Yeah.
And then she says something like, "Oh, what did you do this summer?" Yeah, like you've changed, as in like.
Aww.
Yeah, I think the idea is like what happened was like. Kind of it's like a metaphor for him growing up over that summer.
Yeah.
And like she's seen him now and he's back and she's like, "Oh, you've grown into a Gitaroo man now." And then and then they just walk off together, and then Puma winks at the camera and it ends.
Yeah. We haven't covered it, but like at the end of each level or so, or certain phases, I'd say, of the story, we get a little transition card with some thoughts, I guess, from the main character.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
take them all down. But,
Yeah.
I didn't find too many of them too resonant, except for this last one, which I think the last line is, it doesn't take much to make change impossible to I'm possible. And like, even as a high
Yeah.
schooler, I thought that was kind of cheesy, but like, I won't deny that it didn't stick with me all the way through.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of
Yeah.
really cute. Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
Well, the lesson I learned is that you can cheat through things.
Yes. I didn't have that
Yeah.
luxury back then. So I just got good, I guess. And then you go to the options and you realize there's a master mode, and no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and then you never touch
No.
it.
But the good thing is, if you've been saving all the way through, you can go back and visit the tracks you like and try to increase your score.
Yeah.
Because this whole thing is being scored, and you get like from, I think it's from like D rank to A rank, hopefully. Although I wouldn't be.
I think there's an
I
S
was
rank
gonna
as
say,
well.
like,
that-
knowing Japanese games, they probably have an S rank. Not good
Yeah.
enough to see it, but it's probably there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that was Gitaroo Man.
Yay!
Harder than the Nameless King.
Yeah. Guess so. Each stage is harder than a Bloodborne boss.
Yeah. I'd say that.
It's true, because I actually finished Bloodborne.
That's right.
Do the outro, Richie.
Wasn't that kind of the outro then?
Why are you questioning me, Gina? Why does Richie
Okay.
test me every day of my life?
Well, that was Gitaroo Man requested by our patron Rachel.
Yay!
Or
Rachel.
Rachel,
There
if
we
you are
go.
Sin.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
If you would like to force us to play games, you can go to patreon.com/SinclairLore and pledge at whatever tier it is. I don't know what's on the Patreon that lets you force us to play things. Well, Sin, have you mentioned our $500 goal?
Did you guys already pass the 420 goal?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Not yet.
Richie's been coming up with really cool goals lately.
Sweet.
Well, I came with one.
No, more than one. Yeah. You came up with the goal for episode 69,
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
which is
Okay, so
420.
Yeah,
we,
of course.
we're going to jump directly from episode 68 to episode 70 until we hit 420 on the Patreon. Then we will do episode
It's going to
69.
get really confusing for the people making your wiki, because now they're going to have to like also mention episode 70 is actually 69, but not really, because according to, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Star
Oh,
Wars.
no.
Yeah. And once we've decided that with the release of Kingdom Hearts 3,
Oh, let me pull a Richie.
should we ever
Let me
hit
pull a Richie.
$500?
Let me pull a Richie. Let me pull a Richie.
yeah.
Richie decided unilaterally that.
No, I sent it to you. I asked you.
That is unilateral.
Oh my god, my boyfriend just gave me the look.
Yeah, because you're starting to sound like a Muppet.
Yeah, he's like, what is wrong with you? Why?
He's also probably. Never mind. I was gonna burn you so bad, but I didn't, because I'm
Oh,
a
what?
nice
What? Tell me. No, I love birds.
He's probably also never heard the big word unilateral come out of your mouth, so. Your voice acting was probably so good, and that word was so strange to his ears, he probably thought Richie possessed you for a second.
Okay, Richie, tell us about the $500 tier.
To celebrate the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, if we ever hit $500 on the Patreon, we will play through the entire Kingdom Hearts series and then attempt to explain it.
You're not gonna do any research, you're just gonna go in cold turkey and see how it works.
Yeah, I know almost nothing about it.
I love it. Somebody please
Yeah.
help them.
Oh, Gina, do you have any social media and stuff?
Yeah, you can find me over at ko_Kagero at Twitter. That's probably the safest place to find me. That's KOU_KAGEROU. If you find me anywhere else, proceed with caution.
Didn't you have a Don't Give Up Skeleton episode?
Yes, I did. I did, if you want to listen to me jabber on about Bloodborne for an hour or something like that. I think I've also been on the Salt Report, which is a lovely little podcast. Don't remember what episode it was. I'm sorry, though. You'll know, though, because their cover image is a pretty riding Velociraptor. So, consistency all the way through.
Well, thank you for making up for our deficiency.
Yeah.
By finishing Gitaroo
Really
Man.
appreciate
No problem.
it.
I'm very lucky that I managed to get it together. Yeah. I guess that's it. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yay.
Yay.